All right, let's try that again. There we go. Now we're up and running. Now we got everything synced up. I think I know what happened with the chat room and everything. Let me see if I can send you guys a brand new link here in a little bit. Let's see here. All right, let's try that again. There we go. I'll send you guys a new link in the Facebooks. Send you guys a new link in the Facebooks and everything so you can get back on. There we go. All right, there we go. Everyone's cool. You know, it wouldn't be a good show if, you know, there wasn't some kind of glitches and whatnot. All right, I'm back. Daniel saying it's glad to be back. Glad to have me back. Well, I'm glad to have you back. I'm glad to have all of you back. Top 5, we're not talking about Raw. It's going to be a lot of NXT and SmackDown. Very, very light news week. Not a whole lot on the headline front. The milk carton is alive and kicking because 3 weeks ago was WrestleMania. So everyone who was at WrestleMania who hasn't shown up on television is on the milk carton. And yeah, some people are on the milk carton are probably going to be showing up now. So they're going to show up Monday or Tuesday or Friday or whatever. But milk carton is alive and kicking. We got a fresh batch for you there. And then finally, again, we're just going to shoot the shit about Monday Night Raw and how bad it is and see if we can fix it in our own minds and try to tell us, you know, everything's going to be okay. Jason saying AEW too. Not until the AEW botches Twitter feed goes dark for a week. How about we put it that way, okay? Because by God, every week I find something that happened on AEW that just makes me, as long as Luchasaurus is still there fucking things up, nah, that ain't gonna happen. I'm drinking this cup of ice because the ice has melted because I need to get my sources into it, but before I can do that, I've got to acknowledge all of you. You've stacked them, you've smashed them, you've pinned them, and now it's time for me to acknowledge you. So, if you're in the chat room now, you say, wee! If you're not in the chat room, there's not a damn thing I can do about that. Everyone was filing in and then told me the chat room wasn't working, so now everything's working, so everyone needs to tell me, wee! I tell you do it right now. I see Michonne thank me. I'm glad I'm feeling better. Thank you. I saw CJ who helped me out. I saw Daniel. I see Andrew. I saw Jamel. I saw Jason in the chat room. Everyone go wee! Gil saying Doug's off the injury list. Wee! Yes, I'm off the injury list. I'm off the IR. Yeah. Mediocre Lewis in the chat room. Wee! I think I saw a sexy hunk of man meat Lewis in there as well. Who else? Who else is in there? Yeah, so what happened to me a couple of weeks ago, there's Andrew, acknowledge me, says CJ. What happened to me a couple of weeks ago was I was moving a couch. We got a brand new couch for the house, but I ended up straining my hamstring. And the next day, hamstring's better. Goose in the chat room going, wee! Hamstring got better the next day, but then, unfortunately, the tendon connecting my hamstring to my calf was incredibly strained. Like, I could not stand for 10 or 15 seconds without it throbbing and me having to lie down or sit down. I just could not stand. Ended up going to urgent care the following Wednesday to determine if it was a blood clot or anything like that. Nope, not a blood clot or anything like that. So Gresh saying wee, and so they hooked me up with some prednisone, some mega muscle relaxants, and it numbed the pain, but it still was not going away. And then last week, I felt a clump in my calf. That was shifted to the side instead of the pain being directly in the middle. Went and saw my chiropractor, who I see on a regular basis about every 6 to 8 weeks, and determined that it was that tendon that was incredibly strained. And so no hamstring stretching, don't do any stretching, just put ice on it and let time do its work. And also one of my coworkers, who is originally from California, hooked me up with some kick-ass CBD cream. for it, which helped a lot. And so, yeah, now it's a little strained, but I can definitely stay on my feet and walk a little more. But I could not do the show last week because, seriously, it hurt. It hurt bad. I mean, my mind was not focused on anything. And so, like, even having to sleep, I had to sleep on the couch with my leg elevated above on the top of the couch to try to be comfortable enough to go to sleep. It was bad. So, yeah, but here I am, and here you are. And here we are to have a good time. Until I'm reminded, I didn't have a Vince McMahon Royal Rumble moment, says Goose. No, I did not rip both quads. No, I did not rip both quads. No. Thankfully. So, speaking of, well, there's no segue. I owe you guys something. 3 weeks ago was WrestleMania. We made predictions on 22 matches. We went 14-8. Of the 8 losses, 4 of them were locks. I took care of 2 of those locks a couple of weeks ago. And so, got to take care of 2 of those locks today. Another reason also why I didn't do the show last week, no alcohol. I had to stay hydrated. I could not have any alcohol while my calf was the way it is. I had to be hydrated. So, yeah, we got to take care of some things. Before we do that, sources, what are the sources today? They're horrible. Doug, you have a glass of ice, but you usually have craft beer. What the hell's going on? No, we're going to drink horrible stuff today because we're going to be talking about Monday Night Raw, okay, and how horrible it is. So it is really just a I hate life kind of show. We're going to have some Bud Light, some Strawberry-ta is what we're going to have. This is a malt beverage from Rita's, I think a subsidiary of Budweiser. But I love these things. I love Lime-A-Rita. I love Strawberry-Rita because they taste so good. I can chug them. They're good. And they have a decent ABV. I think it's an 8. Yeah, it's an 8.0. So do we have a descriptor on this thing? No, we should not have a descriptor on this thing. It is disgusting. So, crack the bad boy open. I got some more ice sitting over here to fill this up. Goose saying Doug has to be drunk to talk wrestling. Yeah, I do. I don't talk about this stuff sober. I really don't. I don't like talking about wrestling sober. Because you do inherently start to get angry. Or you start to hate that you're talking about professional wrestling. And you've got to convince others that what you're talking about is important to you, at least. I can't do that. Lord, no, I can't do that. All right, Strawberry Rita. Strawberry Rita time. Strawberry Rita time. This is going to be a very good chaser for the locks. And it's going to be and this is, I'm going to have a very good time because all I've had to eat today is a ham sandwich. Yeah, all right. Here we go. Doug, what's up with this lock business? And you say that you owe things. Well, here on Wrestleview Weekly, we make predictions on pay-per-views, just like how any other professional wrestling podcast would when you're making predictions. Ours is different, though. On this show, when I make predictions, sometimes I'm confident in my prediction, and I will lock said prediction. If that locked prediction is not realized, we take a shot of the Lunazul Blanco tequila. It's getting low. As you can see, it's been getting low. This bottle has served us well. I think we've had this bottle since February of 2020? January of 2020? It was the beginning of 2020 that we had this. I only do this for this show. This is not used for anything else. Because this is horrible. This shit is disgusting. But we got to do it. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Break out the Cleveland Indians double shot glass. Last I saw, they were playing the White Sox. They were ahead 5-0 going into 8th inning, which is good. That's awesome. The White Sox are a very good team this year, but their bullpen is very suspect. Tim Anderson's a very good baseball player. Double shot glass. Here we go. CJ telling me I should have had a White Claw. I can't stand seltzers. Fuck seltzers. I can't stand seltzers. I know Zima. Here we go. Fill that bad boy up. It's not a bad boy, really. Only the sources are my bad boy. There we go. All right, there we go. It's full. Thankfully, this is the last of the shots. This is the last of them. No IOUs. No more locks. No more locks at least until next week, because next week we're predicting WWE WrestleMania Backlash. It's not just Backlash. It's WrestleMania Backlash. WrestleMania Backlash, and then WrestleMania Hell in a Cell, and then WrestleMania SummerSlam, and then WrestleMania Payback, and WrestleMania... All right, here we go. Here it is, in all its splendor, in all its unmitigated gall. Oh, God, can't stand this shit. But we aren't doing any more, at least for a few weeks, so just get it out of our system. All right, here we go. You guys know the drill. You know what I say whenever I do this. You know the motto. It's always up there on the screen before I go live. Here's to me not knowing shit about professional wrestling. Fuck. Oh. God damn it. Oh. God, it's so disgusting. Can't fucking stand that. Doug, why don't you... If only I knew more about professional wrestling, I wouldn't have to do that. If only I were a smarter professional wrestling fan. Yeah. All right, fill up some more of that strawberry Rita. God, I'm glad this is helping me out. All right. Top 5 from last week. Has nothing to do with this shitty little show on Monday. Some really good matches from last week, honestly. Dan, Doug should spit that seltzer out like Gangrel. No, I can't do that, because then everything will go hangwire. I can't do that. All right, top 5. Some pretty good matches from last week, and really funny stuff, too. I don't care what you say. Fuck your shit. Fun things are fun. Okay, first off, I hope the YouTube Gestapo does not take me down. All right, but this was from Robert Stone's Twitter feed from last Tuesday's episode of NXT, where there was supposed to be just a regular match between the team of Aaliyah and Jessie Camilla, flanked by Robert Stone at ringside, to face off against Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon, the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. But the match never started because chocolates and roses were given to Ember Moon and Shotzi at ringside. Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae came out and blitzed them and attacked them before the match started. And so here we go. I hope I don't get Gestapo'd, but let's see. I'm just gonna keep it at that. Look at him. What's even better is they don't show the shot of Robert Stone grabbing the NXT Women's Tag Team titles and just running laps all around the ring. There's Aaliyah with her knees in. Yeah, we did it! This would be followed up on Twitter with them celebrating a victory that never really happened. They consider themselves the #1 contenders for the NXT Women's Tag Team titles. This is the shit that I love about professional wrestling, right? This right here. I mean, why do I always say that, you know, when he used to be on the milk carton, that every day that Robert Stone was on the WWE milk carton is a travesty to America? It's because of this, okay? Robert Stone, the Robert Stone brand, these three are fantastic, okay? Yes, Daniel, fun things are fun, okay? I don't care, all right? That was some funny shit, okay? And understand the storyline that's going on of why Shotzi and Ember were given chocolates and stuff. It was shown it was from Dexter Lumis when we know it wasn't from Dexter Lumis. It was from Candice LeRae and The Way to distract Indy Hartwell away from being infatuated with Dexter Lumis so that they could focus on going after the NXT Women's Tag Team titles. That is the story, but it's this in the periphery that makes it so much better. Okay, this is, yes, CJ, this is professional wrestling. This is the professional wrestling that I want. It has nothing to do with what happens in the ring, has nothing to do with moves, nothing. It is about just plain stupidity. Love it. Absolutely love it. Put a smile on my face seeing Robert Stone running laps around the ring. Jumped onto the turnbuckle and stumbling over it, going, yeah, we want him. Got Aaliyah. Just drop it to her knees. Okay, that's enough of that. All right. Number 2. Off the milk carton. Last week, I wasn't on to display it, but I'll go ahead and do it right now. Official, he is off the milk carton. After being off of WWE television since last October, Aleister Black is finally back. And they're calling this a repackaging. I'm not calling this a repackaging. And this should be brought up for a lot of discussion right now. Okay? Not just on Aleister Black. Not just on this. But what we're seeing here is the actual introduction of the Aleister Black character. The character Aleister Black. We never got this in NXT, if you think about it. We never really figured out what this guy is. Maj telling me I'm the best streamer. Wow. I appreciate that. Though I question your tastes, I appreciate it. But Aleister Black, we are actually getting an introduction. We are getting a synopsis, a summary of who Aleister Black is. We never got this. In NXT, we just knew he was some gothic guy that I hated his theme music. I think that's how the theme song went. Yeah, I could not stand it. Couldn't stand it at all. And he had the entrance where he just rose up from the floor and everything. But that's all we knew of him from NXT. We didn't know why he acted. He always seemed to be angry and dark and brooding, but why is he dark and brooding and angry? Then he was brought over to the main roster to team with Ricochet, but never be introduced to who he is, or what he is, or what his character is. And then after the tag team, and they split up, and then he ends up on Raw, going to SmackDown, and then going back to Raw. He's then in a closet asking for people to fight him. Why? Why would we want to fight you? You know what? You just stay in your closet. Screw you. No. You just keep bitching about why no one's paying attention to you. Stay in your closet. Cesaro picked a fight with him. Murphy picked a fight with him. And that's all we got out of it. Then we got Kevin Owens in a little schmoz thing, but then that was about it. After the Kevin Owens program, which lasted a hot 2 weeks, gone. Nowhere to be seen. Don't know what the hell's going on. So, here we are, about 7 months later, since his last appearance, and we are finally getting a summary, an introduction into who Aleister Black is. Why is he how he is? And it all seems to stem around his father being a real dick and not showing him empathy and telling him that everyone else sucks. Well, yeah, that's what we're getting. Yeah. His father told him that everyone sucks. And so Aleister took that to heart. Everyone sucks. Humanity sucks. Now, what exactly was his father? Is he made out to be some kind of convent priest or something? Who knows? But this leads me to talk about why they don't do this with everyone who comes from NXT. Whenever they bring anyone from NXT to Raw or SmackDown, they assume that everyone watching knows who they are because they're from NXT. Not everyone watches NXT. Believe me. Not everyone watches Tuesday nights or Wednesday nights. Not everyone knows who these people are. Why is Keith Lee not on television? Could be because no one knows who he is or why he is who he is. Why isn't Ricochet on television that much? Well, it could be because no one knows who he is or why he is or what he is. You know? And I think that's a reason why a lot of NXT call-ups falter. It's because they don't introduce them properly. They just, oh, it's him from NXT. So? What's in NXT and why should I care? That's kind of happening with Damian Priest right now. Bad Bunny's not there anymore, so why should I give a shit about Damian Priest? What the hell's a Damian Priest? Oh, they said on NXT he was a rock star. Okay, well, that was on NXT. What the fuck is he here? Well, Doug, they got Rhea Ripley, and they made her the Raw Women's Champion. Bianca Belair. That's the kind of thing. Yeah, CJ telling me the last NXT call-up was Bianca Belair, and she was done right. Well, yes and no. They called her up, debuted immediately following WrestleMania last year, and was nowhere to be found in any storylines on Monday Night Raw. They didn't know what the hell to do with her. Had no idea what to do with her until they shipped her to SmackDown later in the year. And then they repackaged and made it like she was a mega athlete. That's what they did. They repackaged her. But it took them 6 months to figure out what the hell to do with them. And here's a bigger case in point. Why is it on SmackDown that we are better at introducing and packaging and summarizing our characters? Why aren't we doing this on Monday Night Raw? Seriously. You have a 3-hour-long program. I'm sure you could devote at least 3 minutes to introducing us to a character and making us aware of why they do what they do. Monday Night Raw has yet to have a vignette all calendar year. They tried doing this with Underground, but it didn't introduce anyone except for Dabba-Kato, who now joined the Nigerian military and became a commander. It turned Braun Strowman into a cage fighter. Then it is bad. Monday Night Raw is bad. But SmackDown allows everyone to give assessments and repackage and very well, too. I mean, that's the other thing. Aleister Black, with the addition of animation into these vignettes, is a big, big plus. Big, big plus. He didn't have that on Monday Night Raw. He was in a room by himself. How is it that this is... How? How is this possible? I don't know. But I'm glad to see that I'm glad they're doing this with Aleister Black. I'm glad that they're reintroducing us. I'm glad that they're introducing him as a character. Yeah. More of it. I'm sure we're going to get about 3 more weeks of this, and he will make his in-ring return on SmackDown probably in 5 or 6 weeks. It's going to be a little bit. It's going to be a little bit until he makes his return. But with a character like this and Seth Rollins around, Aleister Black is apparently supposed to be, I gather he's supposed to be a heel with this because he keeps calling us liars. He keeps calling us vermin and monsters. So he is supposed to be a heel. Okay. All right. Don't know who your foil is going to be. Maybe Big E, maybe Cesaro, Shinsuke Nakamura, maybe. I don't know. It'll just be interesting how they build him up. It'll really, really just be interesting how they build him up. Good matches happened last week, though. Do you like the flippy dippy stuff? Then you'd love the 6-man tag that happened as the main event over on NXT last week of Kushida teaming with MSK going up against no, it wasn't. Was it El Legado del Fantasma? Yes, it was against El Legado del Fantasma. This was a fun match. It was very easy to follow. Flippy dudes and the no selling at somewhat of a minimum. The pacing was great. Gosh, I could watch Legado del Fantasma every week. Every week. Not a problem. Also, Kushida having the little critter title is a major plus. Kind of switches up his character a little bit, lets him be on TV a little more often. It also, sure, we may get a rematch between Kushida and Santos Escobar for that little critter title. I imagine Kushida will keep that, and we will move Santos and El Legado to bigger and better things, because quite frankly, El Legado del Fantasma is one of the best acts going right now. They are just the look they have of being like Mexican mafioso. It's good. It's good stuff. Gosh, it's so good. It's a breath of fresh air to have someone who knows English and will adapt to styles to make for great television. More on people who don't do that later on in the headlines. But yeah, check this match out. It was fun. I'm normally not a fan of the little critter flippy dippy stuff. No selling like mad. I can't stand it. But when the pacing is right, if the selling is done adequately, it is fun to watch. It kind of reminded me of Monday Night Nitro 6-man tag cruiserweight matches that they had back in 95, 96. That's what I remember it. That's why I identified with it so well. Yeah. That's what it took me in as. Goose saying Phantasma is so great. TNA is debuting a character called Phantasmo. Yeah, who'd have thunk it? Who'd have thunk that? Put the tag belts on El Legado? Well, you could. There's nothing wrong with going hot potato between MSK and Legado for a good few months. Sure. I got no problem with that. I would do hot potato between those two teams for a while, but also in the periphery, you've got grizzled young veterans and the team of Tomato Chomper and Timothy Thatcher. They're going to be going at it to try to figure out a number one contender for those titles too, which will then lead to the split between Timothy Thatcher and Tomato Chomper, which will then lead to stuff happening with Imperium. See me? And everything I'm talking about are storylines in NXT that have been going on for the past month and a half. The fuck's going on Monday Night Raw? We decided to dismantle the one viable stable that everyone could endure, love, and admire. Seriously. Did you know the Viking Raiders returned 2 weeks ago on Monday Night Raw? Did they show up the prior week? No, but we're talking about the top 5 stuff that happened, and once again, none of it happened on Monday Night Raw, including this marathon of a match between Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan for the WWE Universal title. Maj reminded me of Drake Maverick and Killian Dane. That is a fun tag team right there. I love that tag team. Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan. If Daniel Bryan loses, he is off SmackDown. He is kicked off of SmackDown. Not kicked out of the WWE, but kicked off SmackDown. CJ also bringing up Double D and Dio Madden. Mason T-Bar. Oh, God. Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan was a fantastic match. And yes, you can make your criticisms on SmackDown about, well, God, where was... They had a thing going on between the Mysterios and Otis and Gable. Where the hell's Bianca Belair? Where's Sasha Banks? Well, Bianca Belair was in part of a 6-person intergender tag team match. She was there. Sasha's nowhere to be found right now because she's probably going through therapy or something like that. I don't know. But here, yeah. It's a fantastic match. Spanned about a half hour to 45 minutes of the show, ending the show. Roman Reigns gives Daniel Bryan a concerto to send him away with Cesaro tied up into the ropes and Jey Uso coming in to do some stuff as well, which will lead us into Roman Reigns versus Cesaro for the Universal title sometime soon. Oh, yeah. Thank you for reminding me, Maj. Thank you for reminding me. Roman Reigns with a brand new theme. Everyone in the chat room right now, what are your snap thoughts about Roman Reigns' brand new entrance theme? No longer the Shield theme, now his own. Give me your thoughts. Give me your thoughts. I wanna enjoy my horrible sources. What are your thoughts? I'll give you mine in a little bit, but I want to read off yours. I want to read your thoughts on, and this is long overdue. Roman Reigns' new theme song is long overdue. Okay, long overdue. It should have been done last November. Should have been done when he joined up with Paul Heyman. They should have had it ready to go, but they didn't. So I think, yeah, CJ, you're right. I think it's official. I can no longer call him Birdern. You know, that's sad. You know, it's sad. I can't call him Birdern anymore. Now you think about it. It is sad. You suck. Why do you have to get new music? No more Birdern. It's no longer justifiable. If he were a babyface, it would still be justifiable. They would still use it. But heck, sexy hunk of man meet Lewis saying it's much needed and badass. Gills, I have no opinion. Jamel, I want Daniel Bryan to stay away from Raw. Daniel, it fits his character so much. Maj, Thanos and Mob Boss vibes. I like it. The instrumental reminds me of Justin Timberland. Cry Me a River. Oh, I see that. I see that, Maj. Yes, I see. Yes, I see that. Oh, that's a good catch. That's a good catch. Leave the Birdern memories alone. Daniel saying it fits his character so much. It does. It's got that low bass, and with how he walks now to the ring, where he just takes his sweet ass time, you know what's going to be happening? Yeah, I'm definitely, I do like the change. I do like the change, though it's almost eerily familiar to Big E's theme, which means they gotta change something a little bit here. But I like it. No, Roman's theme is very good. Very, very good. Fits in, and once again, it fits in with the pacing of him walking down the ramp, walking around the ring, just the pace of the character in general. Yeah. Daniel saying just can't wait till he loses the belt to Cesaro. I don't know if that's going to happen. CJ, how is Roman the best heel in professional wrestling? Well, it is sad that that Baron Corbin is not on television as much as we wish he was. Because to me, he was the number one heel, was Baron Corbin. But he hasn't been on TV in a while, which leads me thinking that they were hiding an injury of some kind when it comes to him. Or he had to do some cleanup surgery on his knees or something to keep him off of TV. I think that's why we haven't seen Baron Corbin. Is Roman Reigns the best heel in professional wrestling? Well, right now it ain't on Monday Night Raw. That's for damn sure. There's not a goddamn thing going on Monday Night Raw. NXT has heels? NXT doesn't have heels. We don't know if NXT has baby faces or heels. We have no idea. AEW? I don't know who baby faces or heels are on AEW. Is the Pinnacle the bad group now? I thought it was Inner Circle that was the bad group. What about the Elite? What the fuck is the Elite? I know the Dark Order is great. Dark Order makes me smile. I don't know what the fuck Johnny Moxley's doing. I think he's defending the U.S. title from New Japan against someone. Sure. I guess by default, Roman Reigns is the best heel in professional wrestling. Jamel bringing up MJF. MJF is a good talker, but you're only a good heel in comparison to who your baby faces are. Roman Reigns has got some hellacious baby faces to contend with Daniel Bryan and Edge, who has not shown up in a few weeks. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Daniel saying they're teasing a babyface Orton. We got face is Drew, heel is Lashley on Raw. Yeah, but those... No. Not as good of a heel as what Roman Reigns is. Santos Escobar, there we go. Yes. But the problem is he's on NXT. No, I can't do that. No. Mediocre Lewis, Orange Cassidy is still the only reason to watch. Orange Cassidy and Dark Order are the only reason you should watch AEW. That's the only reason I will watch AEW. But the Dark Order is on AEW Dark now. Which sucks. Which really sucks. So, there we go. Johnny Gargano, says CJ. Johnny Gargano? Johnny Garlic Knot. Johnny Gargano is the biggest... I don't know, but let's get to number 5. Can we just get to number 5 on this list? All right, I have been saying this for the past 6 to 8 weeks, ever since the stable was introduced, that this is the most fun, entertaining act in all of in all of WWE right now, okay? Dark Order on AEW is very entertaining to me. Their matches are botcherific, is the only thing that's keeping them back. But god damn it, The Way is the best act by far. Look at this entrance. Austin Theory going to go face off against Bronson Reed. If Bronson Reed wins, he gets a shot at Johnny Gargano's NXT North American title. Indy Hartwell has got this infatuous thing going on with Dexter Lumis. All of the people in The Way are trying to keep her away from Dexter Lumis. Dexter Lumis they shown that flowers and chocolates were given to Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart in an interview backstage. Prior to this entrance, here is the entrance of The Way, and here comes Indy Hartwell. Not even posing, just walking down the ramp like a sulking teenage girl, where the varsity football quarterback just said, I think it would be great if we were just friends. My God, this is... I dropped to the floor with this entrance. I dropped to the floor with this entrance. This is professional wrestling right here, okay? This is great. This entire act is great. Just the embodiment of a of a suburban family. This is so 1980s TGIF sitcom. I love it. Gargano and LeRae being the happy parents of two great kids, and Austin Theory, the meathead, the meathead football player of the high school, and Indy Hartwell, the heartbroken and smitten, who's got a crush on the psychopath next door. Dear God, this is just so great. And even the week prior to that, where Indy was sidetracked with still being smitten from Dexter Lumis, and Candice LeRae picked a fight with Moon and Blackheart. My God. This act is fantastic. This was so well built. The Way has now been around now as a group for probably 8 to 10 weeks, I want to say. But it took, this is a 6-month project. This is for 6 months. And it all started with after Gargano Ciampa to finish their feud and no more. Okay? After that, we had to try to find something for Ciampa and Gargano. Ciampa, let's turn Ciampa into Clint Eastwood from Gran Torino. Just make him the angry old fart on the front porch that doesn't get what the kids across the street are doing, is just angry about it. But Gargano, who would have thought that Gargano could be this cheeserific chicken shit of a heel? And Candice LeRae, who, again, yeah, the jazz hands and the fairy stuff kind of piss me off sometimes, you know, but, and Austin Theory as a meathead is fucking fantastic. He is great in that role. For as young as he is, and he is great. And Indy Hartwell came out of nowhere. Indy Hartwell out of nowhere. Just a jobber female, just getting beat all the time. Then she comes up as the masked assailant helping Candice LeRae win all the time. Who would have thought that she had this kind of range? Okay, this floored me. Right now, if you have not seen an episode of NXT and have not experienced this group, please do. You are missing out. All right? The Way is probably the one of, if not the main reason that I would stay in interest of professional wrestling. And what's great about this act is that when we return out of the pandemic and go to live crowds, they will be incredibly well received. That's the problem right now with NXT and a lot of the stuff that they're doing is, will it hold its own when we go to live crowds? Karrion Kross's entrance ain't going to. Everything happening with Undisputed Era, I'm not sure. But this right here, oh God, this is great. Okay. This is the only reason I would watch NXT or professional wrestling in general on television, is for this act right here. I know that's saying a lot. I put it above Roman Reigns. I put it above Drew McIntyre. Anything on this godforsaken show of Monday Night Raw. I put it above AEW, of the Dark Order and all those other fucking factions that they got. This is the reason you should stay put. Just check them out. I don't know what's going on with them this week. I'm sure that it will be revealed that Candice LeRae is the one that sent the flowers and chocolates. And God, it's so good. And Austin Theory as the meathead is so good. Oh, God, they're such a good act. All right. So that's my top 5. I'm glad I had to end this on a top note. I had to end this. I had to end it on a good note. Okay, I had to be happy. Oh, boy. News. Let's talk about some news. Not much news to really talk about, but a really weird record was made. I don't know why they would advertise something like this. It kind of speaks a lot about how horrible your show is. No, we're not going to my list. We're going to the news. I said we're going to the news. I'm not doing the news until I get my stinger. Okay, that's fine. All right. So WWE, and I got to reload this page. There we go. There we go. First off, I never knew that this Twitter account existed. WWE Stats. On Twitter, WWE Stats. I never knew that this Twitter account existed, but it doesn't. There's a lot of bracing in that W. See that? There's a lot of bracing in that W, so it's definitely not something that yeah, this is not WWE affiliated. However, Braun Strowman, last Monday, according to this WWE Stats Twitter handle, after reviewing nearly 1,000 records, our data shows that this Monday on Raw, Braun Strowman became the first superstar in history of any federation to compete in a televised singles, tag team, and handicap match all in the same night. Think about that. I mean, we've had performers, you know, have 3 singles matches in one night. We've had plenty of singles match leading to a tag match leading to a singles, handicap leading to tag. We've had all of that. But Braun Strowman going from handicap match to tag team match and then to a singles match at the end of the night. I mean, is he supposed to get the amount of praise that Seth Rollins got when he did that big, long gauntlet match of some kind and he was in the ring for an hour and a half? Is Strowman supposed to get that kind of praise too? You know? Dean Ambrose, I think, did the same thing, or Johnny Moxley, when he was with the WWE. Didn't he have a lot of matches? And they said, oh, he's a workhorse. But Braun Strowman doing a handicap, a tag, and then a singles. Look, can we, if we're not going to praise Braun for being a workhorse, can we chastise Raw for being fucking lazy? You're goddamn right we can. Why did we have it in the first place? Why did we have the handicap leading to tag? Why? To have a singles match between him and McIntyre. Couldn't you just done that in a segment? Why did we have to tie up over a half hour of T-Bar Mace shit? We know they exist. Could have brought them up in the main event. They didn't have to have a tag match. Why? My brain hurts. Jamel asking the big question. Speaking of Xia Li, where's she been? Vignette. She had a vignette on NXT. They're going to be debuting Tian Sha sometime soon. I'm trying. I don't want to expend all my anger and frustration right now because we got to talk about Monday Night Raw. Saw this pop up The WWE filing the trademark nickname of an NXT developmental talent, AJ Francis. He's going to be trademarked as Top Dollar. Top, T-O-P, Dollar, D-O-L-L-A. He was signed by the WWE last year, played in the NFL from 13 to 18, played for a lot of teams, but not for a very long amount of time. Top Dollar for general pro wrestling and sports entertainment use is what they filed the trademark for. He is with NXT UK, is the roster that he will be with, is AJ Francis. Okay. News to me. Top Dollar? CJ, I don't want to talk around. Please save us. Well, we're going to talk about fantasy. We're trying to save Monday Night Raw. Okay? We're trying to save it. That's what we're trying to do. Okay? Comcast earnings report shows the WWE has added subscribers for Peacock. According to the 21 quarterlies of the first quarter from Comcast, the company noted that the WWE increased the number of new subscriptions to their Peacock streaming service. It was also mentioned that The Office also contributed to the increase in subscribers. Well, yeah, that's the only reason anyone would watch your godforsaken thing. Peacock saw 9 million new subscriptions during the first 3 months of 2021, now has currently 42 million subscribers in the U.S. Comcast did not include how many of those were free tier versus paid tier. Doug, did you pay for it? Yes, I am a paid subscriber to Peacock. Yeah, $250 a month for $10, 4 months. Sure, I jumped on it. And I've been a subscriber to the WWE Network since its inception. Totally for its avenue. The one thing is people need to understand is the WWE Network is still running on an international basis. The WWE Network in the U.S. is under Peacock. So all that stuff about India, oh, that's in WWE's wheelhouse. That's all WWE's. NXT UK, WWE's UK thing, oh, that's all WWE's wallet right now. People seem to think that the WWE is going down because of this Peacock deal for 3 years that they get the WWE Network. That's only in the US, people. WWE is looking to make a hell of a lot more money internationally than they are here domestically. You can bank on that. You watch in their third quarter reports for this year, they will have turned more of a profit internationally than domestically. And that's actually how they've always been. They've made way more money in India than they ever have in the US. You watch. Watch. They don't give a shit what's happening here. Johnny Moxley is the IWGP US champion. How long has he been? Why does New Japan have a US title? And why have there only been 1 or 2 champions of it? And that's like the WWE with their European title, which was stupid. Why? God, my brain hurts. And he's defending it against Yuji Nagata? How old is he? Holy fuck. 53 years old is Yuji Nagata. He's still a thing? He can't be a thing. He must be the only New Japan alumni living in the U.S. that they're doing this. Why? Fuck this. A-Dub promoting this. Why? Oh. Yeah. Ugh. Oh, you want things that'll make you go, bleh? Remember that cat Andrade from the WWE, you know, that loves posting pictures of him and Charlotte Flair doing suggestively sexual stuff on the internet. Well, it was released by the WWE, and, you know, he's kind of big, all tongue-in-cheek about it. You know, poor guy doesn't know English, but... So Andrade is going to be debuting for Federación Wrestling in a pay-per-view on June the 19th. You know who this first match is going to be against on June the 19th in Federación Wrestling? He will be squaring off against Alberto El Patron. That's right. Recently released kidnapper. I love cocaine. Roxo the Luchador, Alberto El Patron. That's who that is. That's who that is. He'll actually Andrade will be facing off against Alberto El Patron at the Nacion Lucha Libre event in McAllen, Texas on Saturday on my fucking birthday on July the 31st. But at this pay-per-view on June the 19th with Federación Wrestling, he's going to be joined by Ring of Honor's stars Rush, Bestia del Ring, and he's prize partner against Matt Taven, PJ Black, and some other whatever the fuck they're doing. Who the fuck knows? Mike Tabasco is somewhere. Is Mikey in my chat room? Is the Effervescent One in my chat room? Once again, I want to call Alberto El Patron. I want to call him Roxo the Luchador. I love cocaine! Seriously, I do a lot of cocaine. I went on a Metalocalypse binge after I got my first vaccination shot Friday morning. So yeah, I had to wear out some side effects, so I thought I'd watch some Metalocalypse. Randy Andrade, I can't speak English. Well, you know, that's why he was released. He had to have translators all around him, and he couldn't learn the damn language, and he couldn't adapt to the WWE. That's why they canned him. Fact is fact. That's what it is. Speaking of, again, Andrade, he will be at, he appeared in a vignette for Lucha Libre AAA's Worldwide Rey de Reyes, the King of Kings event. And he challenged Kenny Omega for the AAA Mega title at Triple Mania. Randy said, did you hear Doug AEW got Alberto Del backstage? And we getting to AEW. So Kenny Omega has the AAA Mega title. He defended it at last year's Triple Mania against the Laredo Kid. There has been no official date for the Triple Mania event from AAA. But Andrade is going to be at Federación Wrestling's debut pay-per-view Saturday 19th, and it will be against, and then he has the match against Roxo the Luchador in McAllen on my birthday. You know, and then first off, I'm going to mute this. I just want to get this here. This is the little vignette. There's the little vignette of our guy who just won't learn English. Doug, what do you have against Spanish? No, it's just when you're with a company and you are forced to learn something in order to stay, you better fucking learn it. They told me, Doug, you're supposed to learn Spanish to be on Wrestleview. Then I'll learn Spanish. Seriously. I'll learn whatever the fuck you want me to learn to keep my job. This fucker didn't want to. Dan Bradley, a guy who flip, is that a gimmick? You're thinking of Richard O'Shea. Richard O'Shea has the gimmick of a guy who flips. Or you're thinking of Ospreay. Will Ospreay. God, that's a name that drives me to drink. Injury report. Injury report. Who's got the ouchies? Becky Lynch, the tiny human has been extracted from her tom-tom. She is doing fine. She's trying to get back into in-ring shape, I guess. When is she coming back? Who knows if she's coming back? She's very cute without makeup and red hair. It was all over the Twitter and the Instagram. When will she be back? I don't know. Lacey Evans now has a tiny human in her tom-tom. She won't be back until maybe Royal Rumble of next year. But judging from how long it's taking Becky Lynch to come back, who knows? If you're a female and you want tiny human in your tom-tom and you're a professional wrestler, who knows when you can return? Who knows if you'll be that big of a deal? Or even remember you. Becky Lynch jumped the shark after WrestleMania. Thankfully, the human was implanted in her tom-tom so that she could avoid further disaster to her character. So, breeding was the best thing that could happen to her. Tegan Knox with a torn ACL. This is the third time she's torn her ACL in her entire career. Don't know if she'll be returning, but if she did, it would be around SummerSlam of this year. Ridge Holland ruptured his patella on live television last year. He would be returning about the same time in SummerSlam. Arturo Ruas had a torn rotator cuff last year. This was after the Underground shenanigans. Still on the roster page, had successful surgery. Your guess is as good as mine. There's Mikey. I don't think we'll ever see Ronda again. No, Ronda Rousey is not coming back. Everyone needs to stop. She has a second human inside her tom-tom. She's not doing anything physically ever again. Period. If anything, she's going to become a talk show host. Stop talking about Ronda. Stop talking about Ronda. Ronda is going to be a talk show host. She will be on syndicated television every 10 o'clock in the morning in 2023. Said it. That's what she's going to do. She will overtake Ellen DeGeneres as the #1 syndicated talk show host in all of television. That's it. She's not doing anything. Stop it. Everyone stop it. You're expecting a savior to female wrestling. It ain't someone who's getting pregnant for a second time. Stop it. Bobby Fish torn his tricep. He's supposed to be back sometime around SummerSlam, but I don't think we would really notice because he's been injured for 19 months out of the last 3 years of his career. Danny Burch, dislocated shoulder on live television, forced him and Oney Lorcan to relinquish the NXT tag team titles. We're not going to see him until June of this year. Maybe. We'll see. Dan saying, did I see the vignettes of the Diamond Mine on NXT? I sure did. I thought about putting that on my top 5. But thought not to. Only because it's just a vignette. There's no actual people on it yet. But I'm imagining 2 or 3. I'm imagining in the Diamond Mine on NXT, we're going to look at 2 or 3 prospects or recent signees to the Performance Center. And it would be great if we could see a talking head, a manager come from there. If it's Malcolm Bivens, I'm going to be so sad. If Malcolm Bivens is associated with the diamond mine at all, that's an act that's bad. It's bad. So again, those are the people, everyone you see there, those are the people that are hurt. What about the people who aren't hurt? What about the people who are perfectly healthy? What about the people who haven't been on television, pay-per-view, or otherwise with the WWE for, say, 3 weeks? They end up on a very special list. A list of my own design. A list that you thought died after the spring cleaning a few weeks ago, but yet continues to thrive and grow and curdle and sour just like any other carton of milk would. You better prepare yourselves. It's a big one. There's a lot of people on there. They haven't been on TV since WrestleMania or NXT Stand and Deliver. Oh, Doug's excited. Oh, is he okay? Doug, don't have a stroke. Oh, I'm not going to have a stroke. You're not going to have a stroke either. You're going to fucking enjoy this. Turn your head if you're squeamish. Brace for impact. It's the WWE Milk Carton. Holy living fuck, Doug, are you okay? I'm really scared for you right now. I think that's probably the best one I've done of Milky so far. I think that's probably the best one I've done. Yeah. Yeah, it's probably the best one. Let's start things off with everyone who showed up at night 2 of WrestleMania that hasn't shown up since then. I don't know if Titus O'Neil... I don't... Should I consider Titus O'Neil part of the main roster anymore? Now that he has won the Warrior Award for the WWE Hall of Fame, should I consider him part of the main roster? Because I'm going to tell you right now, okay, we will talk about the WWE main roster page coming up on our talk of Monday Night Raw. Okay, so Titus O'Neil has not been on television since night 2 of WrestleMania, where he was host alongside Hulk Hogan, who I swear I thought was going to call him Tip O'Neil and think he was in Miami. Right now, I think Titus O'Neil, I'm going to keep him on there. I'm going to keep him on there. We'll see. I don't want Titus O'Neil to be a golden gallon is what I'm saying. Okay? This guy is too good of a man to be put along the same lines as a Colon, as Bo Dallas, as Vanessa Bourne, as Kona Reeves, as Mansoor. I cannot have this guy being a golden gallon. No, I don't want to go somewhere else. No, Milky, get the fuck away from me. Oh, it's a show today, folks. Oh, it's a good one today. You tuned in for a good show today. Edge! Edge! Haven't seen him since the main event of night 2 of WrestleMania, where he and Daniel Bryan were in a triple threat match to face off against Roman Reigns for the WWE Universal title. People wondering, where's Edge? Where's the Edge? I don't know. Why hasn't he showed up? I don't know. It wouldn't shock me if he shows up on this Friday's SmackDown to shoehorn himself into Roman Reigns versus Cesaro. It would not shock me. It would not shock me at all. AJ Styles, brand new Raw Tag Team Champion, determined on the first night of WrestleMania on April the 10th. We haven't seen him since then, alongside his incredibly skinny Tag Team co-champion, Omos. WWE, seriously, look at this picture. This is the profile picture of Omos. Look at that. This man stands over 7 feet tall. You do all of those undercut shot. You do all of these undershots to make it look like Omos is a really big person. And he is a tall person. He is a very tall person. But holy living fuck, look at that title belt. That is not a Photoshop title belt. Yes, AJ Styles and Omos are going to be on television tomorrow night. Yes, I know. But it's been 3 weeks. They haven't been on television. They're on the milk carton. They're going to be off. Totally get it. Got it, guys. Just look at this picture. Look at this. No wonder we're keeping Omos clothed. Wow. No wonder we've had him in turtlenecks and suits and pants for Jesus Christ. This is not Photoshopped, guys. Seriously, I will show you in my next segment. Oh my God. Ugh. Of all the months that we've seen Omos on television, and now we see him on his profile picture on the WWE milk carton. Aw, he's a nice guy. Aw. This looks like the kind of guy I would play DDR with in a local arcade. Can you imagine? 7'2" playing DDR. Oh God, Doug, how old are you? Look at him. Seriously. And that belt is not Photoshopped. I swear to you. Okay, God, Doug, you're going off the deep end. You're going off the deep end. All right. Let's carry on. Carmella. Have not seen her since night 1 of WrestleMania, where she teamed up with now released WWE performer Billie Kay in a gauntlet match to determine the number 1 contenders for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. This is no shock. Carmella wants to be a part-timer. Why? I don't know. Why she thinks that she should be a part-timer, I'll never know. It's not like she's done anything to deserve it. Because you're boinking Corey Graves. Well, if you're boinking Corey Graves, I guess you are traumatized for at least a few months that you don't want to be on television and show your face. It's got to be the reason why she's not on TV, right? I mean, she's perfectly healthy. Dear God, Doug, what's wrong with you? I'm not... Is there anything different to what I'm saying that would be different from any other stupid dirt sheet on the internet? It's just you shouldn't believe it from me. Sounds stupid. Why isn't Carmella on TV? I don't know. Reasons that she wasn't on TV before is because she was going through some kind of mental problems. And that's fine. You go through mental problems. I totally get it. You need to defrag, you gotta relax, and I totally understand it. But you weekly have a podcast with your boyfriend, husband, whatever the hell he is, Corey Graves. So it's definitely not a problem with being out in public. So it's not that. Then what's your problem? What kind of anxiety problems do you have? Sure as hell can't be anything with being on TV or being in front of a microphone. So what is it? Liv Morgan. Haven't seen her since that same gauntlet match on night 1 of WrestleMania alongside Wooby Wyatt. Haven't seen either of these two since then. I was shocked during the spring cleaning that these two were not part of the spring cleaning. Because, man, oh man, have we never had anything for these two for the past 18 months. Seriously, we tied Liv Morgan into some lesbian love triangle thing with her and Lana and Bobby Lashley, and Wooby Wyatt was floundering around doing absolutely nothing. I mean, I'm surprised these two weren't canned. What are we doing? I mean, we're instead pushing Natalya and Tamina because they're old, because they deserve something. So what are we doing here? Andrew bringing up, well, Liv Morgan is with Bo Dallas and they're on their farm and they're enjoying a happy regular life. What is Wooby Wyatt doing? I have no idea. Everyone that I'm about to show you was last seen on a battle royale of the Ender the Giant Persuasion on SmackDown. These people were in that battle royale, and we have not seen them since. Akira Tozawa, Drew Gulak, Angel Garza, Grand Metalik, Lince Dorado, Murphy, Mustafa Ali, Richard O'Shea, and Slapjack. All of those guys, all 8 of them, were in the Ender the Giant Battle on the SmackDown prior, the go-home show for SmackDown going into WrestleMania. What are we doing with any of them? I don't know, but I'm thoroughly shocked that... No, I'm not. I'm not shocked that any of them are on there. Fons Balor. Haven't seen him since night 2 of NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver, where he took a powder to Karrion Kross to give Karrion Kross the NXT World title. We haven't seen him since then. I believe since that match, he has been vacationing with his sexy wife. The pictures are there to prove it all over Instagram and the Twitter. So what are we doing with Fons Balor? I don't know. I'm sick and tired of him being a badass. All right, you can't be a badass and shove your crotch into the camera every night. It's true. Every time he comes out there, he's got to go on his tippy toes and shove his crotch out there, and the camera's got to give us a face full of balls. I hope he takes this time to stand flat-footed. I'm not the only one that notices this. I don't want to see it, but I can't be the only one that notices this. This shit, I'm getting sick and tired of. I'm not buying any of this badass shit. I have survived a lot of injections of badassery into people that never needed it. Damien Sandow, Roxo the Luchador are the two that vividly come to my mind. Injections of badassery are stupid. Unwarranted. Just because you say it and you've got a scowl on your face. God, I can't stand it. Fons Balor is really getting on my nerves. Well, he's been on my nerves for a while. Jake Atlas, we haven't seen him since a Battle Royale on NXT. Why was there a Battle Royale on it? There was a Battle Royale on NXT on March the 31st for some reason. Was it to determine a slot in a gauntlet match of some kind? Jack Swagger, yes, CJ. Jack Swagger's another one who got some badassery put into him. God, that was horrible. I'm sorry, but oh God, I just got the swaggy. Tastes like freedom. Yeah. Tastes like freedom. The Thwaggy. Jack Swagger. Jack Thwagger. Jack Swagger. Jake Atlas, yeah, there was a gauntlet match that happened on March the 31st for some reason. I don't know. Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter haven't been seen since the March 31st episode of NXT because they were doing some handicap match shenanigans with Xia Li. Xia Li did a vignette saying how much of a badass she is, but it's because of Tian Sha that she's a badass. And Boa looks like he's from the Matrix, but gets his ass kicked by females every single week. So I don't think he's a very intimidating person at all. Caden Carter and Casey Catanzaro, haven't seen them for a while. Casey Catanzaro is telling us to put on a mask and everything, and yet still does stupid shit out in the open. Caden Carter's the smart one and doesn't say a whole lot on social media. Malcolm Bivens, haven't seen him since that same episode of NXT on March the 31st. He was at ringside for the Battle Royale because he was representing Tyler Rush. We haven't seen Tyler Rush at all, and I don't even bring him up on the milk carton because he's not even on the main roster, and I don't even have a picture of him. But I've got one of Malcolm Bivens. How deep is this milk carton? I don't know. It's a lot. Jeff Hardy, haven't seen him since the March 22nd episode of Monday Night Raw, where he faced off against The Miz to further along the storyline between The Miz, Morrison, and Bad Bunny, and Damian Priest, and yada, yada, yada. They're riding out Jeff Hardy's contract. They're riding out Bender's contract. He's going to be shipped out of here within the next 3 months. It would not shock me if he is not on television for the next 3 months. They're riding out the injury time. There's no point of having him on television. Mia Yim, haven't seen her since the March 21st episode. That was Fastlane. Haven't seen Mia Yim. I'm sorry, that's Reckoning. Haven't seen her since the March 21st Fastlane pay-per-view, where she was ringside with the match of Mustafa Ali versus Riddle. That was when Retribution broke up. Everyone has been on TV except her. R-Truth. This one makes me sad. Yes, he's doing the post-Raw shows. You wouldn't think he's a champion of anything, but they have done nothing with the 24/7 title since March the 15th, where Bad Bunny gave him back the 24/7 title. Are we doing anything with any of those people who are on the Battle Royale on April the 9th on SmackDown? Or are we just going to have R-Truth be on post-Raw and there's no point in having a 24/7 title? I'm sad. Keith Lee. Haven't seen him since the February 8th episode of Monday Night Raw, where he faced off against Riddle. I am shocked that he was not released during the spring cleaning. I really thought he was going to be. But if Mia Yim hasn't been on television since Fastlane, and Keith Lee hasn't been on TV since February, what are our plans here? Are we looking at a repackaging or a reintroduction like we're doing with Aleister Black? Well, it better be on SmackDown because they don't know how the fuck to do it on Monday Night Raw. We are too busy putting Braun Strowman in 3 different matches to encompass an entire hour of our 3-hour program. Shrug emoji. Nikki Cross. Haven't seen her since the February 1st episode of Monday Night Raw, where she faced off against Alexa Bliss to further confirm the wacky-ass Alexa Bliss character that was affiliated with Bray Wyatt, but is no longer affiliated with Bray Wyatt. Wait a minute, why isn't Bray Wyatt on the milk carton? Because he showed up on the Monday Night Raw following WrestleMania. So if he doesn't, there you go. So, Nikki Cross. What are we? Ship her to NXT UK. She'll be great in NXT UK. Ringu and Saroff. Induce Share. The mega tag team that we tried pushing at NXT, well, we haven't seen them since January 26th's Superstar Spectacle, where they were part of a 6-man tag alongside Jinder Mahal to square off against Drew McIntyre and other people. Yeah. I can't remember who. But yeah, those boys haven't been on TV since then. It's because of the color green. Jinder Mahal hasn't been on TV because we're trying to figure out how we're going to market to India. That's why. Jinder Mahal is going to be the man for the India product that the WWE is going to be putting out. And that's what the Superstar Spectacle was. It was a promotional show for Sony India Pictures. Watch out. Keep your eye on that one. It's going to happen. Oh, this makes everyone happy. This makes everyone with a cause happy. Velveteen Dream. Haven't seen him since the December 23rd episode of NXT from last year. Haven't seen him since he was legitimately buried. And I don't use wrestling terms that much. I don't like using mark, bury, or any of that junk. But this was legitimate. Legitimately buried by Adam Cole on December 23rd. I thought he was going to make his Raw or SmackDown debut on the Royal Rumble. Never happened. This one, I still want to put him on Raw or SmackDown. Man, I want to make people angry. Man, I want to make people just throw their phones out the window. I want to make people destroy their TVs. God, I want this to happen. He hasn't been released. Everyone thought he was going to be released during the spring cleaning a few weeks ago. Oh, man, they were calling for his head. You see that? They were calling for his head. Unsympathetic little fox. No. I want to use this guy to my advantage. Oh, man. I know if I got him on my TV, you're going to be watching, you're going to be angry, you're going to be using hashtags, and then my advertising dollars are going to go up 15%. Oh, my God. Debut him on Mother's Day. Oh! Debut him on Mother's Day. Woo-hoo-hoo. I gotta debut him on the worst day possible. Mother's Day. Oh. All right, that's enough of that. Jimmy Uso. Haven't seen him since the November 22nd Survivor Series. He was outside of Roman Reigns' locker room alongside his brother Jay, saying, "Hey, Jay, what's up? Why did you..." Dude, he's family, and I quit Hell in a Cell match. What the fuck, bro? Dirt sheets have been saying for the past 4 months that this guy was going to be coming back. Shrug emoji? Riddick Moss, haven't seen him since the September 21st episode of Monday Night Raw, where he was trapped underground and thought he was a cage fighter fighting Arturo Ruas. Arturo Ruas had a rotator cuff injury and then had surgery. He's okay, but we haven't seen... But this guy, he was underground and thought he was a cage fighter. Dabba-Kato was underground and thought he was a cage fighter, but then he joined the Nigerian military to become a commander. What is preventing Riddick Moss from doing likewise? Why hasn't Riddick Moss joined the Nigerian military? They're all inclusive. I'm sure he could become a brigadier general or a lieutenant corporal or, fifth level super judge. I don't know. Why isn't Riddick Moss part of the Nigerian military? If all you have to, the prerequisite is being locked in Raw Underground. I don't know. Finally, the stalwart of the WWE milk carton. She was locked underground too. I think we're about 4 months away. Little over 4 months away from her becoming a brand new Golden Gallon. The Golden Gallon is someone who has been on the WWE main roster for a whole calendar year, perfectly healthy, not on television or pay-per-view. She's got a nice gig going on right now. That's Jessamine Duke. Haven't seen her since she was trapped underground too. But that was back on September the 7th of last year. What's she doing? She's playing video games on WWE's dime. Along with Reckoning, Dakota Kai. And I think Shayna Baszler is part of it too. And a lot of other people are playing video games with up, up, down, down, and blah, blah, blah. And that's fine. My problem is, you haven't been on television or pay-per-view for at least 3 weeks. Then why should I even consider you part of the WWE and you're playing fucking video games? I mean, seriously, Jessamine Duke, just change your... I don't see any difference between you or any other video game streamer. I mean, yeah. Whatever. There's your WWE milk carton. It's sad that the next one is going to be someone who plays Uno. You know, that's the last thing that you remember her for. Whatever. Oh, who's coming up next on the milk carton? Well, yeah, I mentioned that The Fiend would be one that would be showing up. Looks like I got 3 other people on top of that. Not a whole lot, but I kind of mentioned their names during the show. So, yeah, Andrew saying, remember the 4 horsewomen of MMA and the other. Yeah, you remember that talk? Remember the talk about the 4 horsewomen? Blah, 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 blah. Nah, that ain't happening, is it? Everyone wanted to have tiny humans injected in their tum-tum. Everyone wanted to play video games. Daniel telling me to stop being depressed. Well, that's going to be tough because we got to talk. We got to talk about this show. We got to talk about this God-forsaken, you know. It's really bad. It's really, really, really bad.
We're going out tonight!
Yeah.
Every night!
Yeah.
And everyone!
Yeah.
And everything inside!
Yeah.
Until the walls stop turning birds to the ground tonight!
There we go. That makes me feel better. Where's my screen? I want to show, where's my superstar screen? I got to show people what I always look at when I do the thing. When I do the thing. Where's the thing? There's the thing. All right, here we go. WWE main roster page. Here we are. You ready to see a clusterfuck and a half? All right, here we go. So here's all your champions. Here they go. Yeah. There's all your champions. Oh, look, Raquel Gonzalez is so happy with her black lipstick and bright white teeth. Shiny teeth and me. What's an A-Kid? I don't know what's an A-Kid. Don't ask me. Walter! The only reason you should love professional wrestling. So here, first off, I want to do current superstars. Here is the current main roster page. Okay. We're gonna scroll down, keep on going down a little bit. So you can just see that this is their main roster page right now. Looks like Asuka got a brand new profile pic. Yeah, that's nice. Then we're gonna just keep on scrolling down. Look at everyone looking all shiny and happy. Charlotte's boobs work. Charlie Caruso left your company about a month and a half ago. Keep on scrolling down. We're just confirming that all these people, Sasha is smitten. Everyone from The Bump seems to be a WWE superstar. I don't understand that. Don't really get this. Io Shirai still showing no emotion whatsoever. Jason Jordan is on there, even though I think he's a producer now. I don't think he's able to be even physically active at all. That's okay. John Cena's an alum. Why is JoJo here? Get in the chat room going, wee! JoJo hasn't done anything within a WWE ring in 3 years. She hasn't had her voice or likeness or anything involving the Jonathan Coachman. Same thing for nearly a year, 2 years, in fact. Why is the coach here? And these are on current superstars. I mean, I understand John Cena being there. I have no problem with that. But coach? Josiah Williams, I think he's with NXT UK. I think that's where he is. So we're just going to keep on scrolling down. Oh, look, Kyle O'Reilly looking as identifiable as he ever could be if you lived in 1985. Keep on scrolling down. Keep on, we're just looking. I know I saw Jerry Lawler as a current roster, but that's okay. Matt Camp looks about as much of a Raw superstar as I look Japanese. Keep on. Mojo Rawley was released through 2 weeks ago. Why is Mojo still on your roster page? Mojo Rawley, apparently still a part of the WWE main roster. Who'd have thunk it? Keep on scrolling down here. Hey, Oney Lorcan is still the NXT Tag Team Champion. Mojo, yeah, Oney Lorcan is still an NXT Tag Team Champion. Let's keep on going down. I'm sure we'll see more stupidity. I'm sure it'll still be there. Why is Rob Gronkowski still here? That was over a year ago. Why is Rob Gronkowski still here? Come on. Dude. Ryan Papola. Look, I get it. If you're on the bump, you're apparently a superstar. I guess that's how it is. Scott Stanford, dude. Scott Stanford's awesome. He can be on any roster page, and I'll consider him a superstar. It really doesn't matter. There's nothing wrong with that. Oh, who else we seeing here? Oh, let's keep on scrolling down because we want to get our panties in a wad. Brian Kendrick retired. The Brian Kendrick retired. Why is he still here? Just keep on scrolling down. All I'm doing is just confirming to you how screwed up the WWE main roster is. Hey, look, Vacant is part of the, for fuck's sake. Vacant. This has got to be satire. Yeah, CJ, it's true. Yeah, Brian Kendrick confirmed his retirement about a good 4 weeks ago. Yeah, he's not performing anymore. But Vacant sure is. You can find Vacant on any copy of WWE Raw vs. SmackDown 2007. Vacant. Place your bets on who's in Vacant. I'm going to click on it. Who's in Vacant? Apparently, it is the Universal Championship. Let's continue going through this roster page here. Just to see if we can, okay, I think that's about it. So there you go. There's that's everyone on the main roster page. Yeah, Vacant survived spring cleaning. Who'd have thunk that? You know, I can't tell the difference between any of the female interviewers that Raw or SmackDown have. They all look the same to me. It feels very Fox News-esque, where it's all dirty blonde. It's all. Okay, so that's the main roster page. Doug, we're supposed to be bitching about Raw. Well, I'm trying to show you what we have to work with here. So now we are going to go to the Raw side of the main roster. Bear in mind, there's going to be some names that are not on here and some that are on here that shouldn't be on here. And so you kind of see what I've got to work with when it comes to doing the WWE milk carton. It's kind of difficult. So here we go. There's Becky Lynch, the meme. Brock Lesnar, still on Monday Night Raw. Booker T, well, that's an alum. Charlie Caruso, still a member of Monday Night Raw, even though she was terminated about around a month ago. David Otunga. When has David Otunga been a part of anything on WWE for the past 3 months? Who else we got here? Jerry Lawler. Well, yeah, puff up your chest, big guy. You like 17-year-old girls. Jason Jordan is now apparently a producer on Monday Night Raw, but we're still showing him as a very active person. JoJo. Again, I've made my thoughts clear about Mojo. Mace looks like he's got an earwig in his ear hole. Who else we got here? MVP looks like he's ready for combat, though he's very old. There's Omos. Don't believe me about the Omos thing? Check out his profile picture. Here it is, right here. That is the belt. Yeah, that's the picture. There's Riddle, there's Rhea Ripley, Shane McMahon's still there with that look on his face like you just shown him a card trick. Slapjack, there's the Fiend, but I thought he was burned alive. I don't know. But Vic Joseph, he's the announcer for NXT. Why is he on the Raw page? Yeah. Just so you guys understand, this is what I work with when it comes to putting together the milk carton. They have not updated their main roster page in Lord knows how long. Oh, you think this is funny? You ought to see NXT. But we'll go back to talking. We are supposed to be talking about Monday Night Raw. Hey, did you know Chelsea Green is still a part of the NXT roster? There are people that are on the NXT roster page that shouldn't be on here, and there are people who have been on NXT for the past 4 months and have yet to be on the NXT roster page. Hey, did you know that, check it out, we got Nash Carter of MSK, the NXT Tag Team Champions, but we have no Wes Lee. The white guy gets a roster page. The white guy gets a profile picture, but the black guy doesn't. I am just showing facts, guys. I am just showing fact that the white guy of the tag team has got a profile page and the black guy doesn't. That's all. Just saying. I'm not. Take it for what you will. Take it for what you will. I'm just. I mean, it's right there. Don't look at me. Grash saying from a scale of 1 to 10, where TNA is an 11, where are we with the WWE right now is at a 9. No, this is bad. This is really bad. I counted, there are 2 performers on their main roster page that were released 3 weeks ago, and they still have a profile up for. There are people who have not been on TV for 3 years who are not Hall of Famers that are on their roster page. Doug, you're supposed to be bitching about Monday Night Raw. All right. Okay. So, I'm just going to put the roster page up here. And I know that I was saying that we're going to fantasy book. Try to figure out some programs, you know. Want to do a little mini draft and shuffle people around, you know, to make Raw viable, more watchable. What kind of programs are we going to do? Can we drag them out for 3 months? How can we drum up interest? Doug, you're killing time. Stop teasing. Just stop diddling with the head and just shove the whole thing in. The problem with Monday Night Raw is resource management. Well, Doug, they've got all those wrestlers, you know. They aren't using them to their best interest. Look. Last week's episode of Monday Night Raw, and yes, we can bitch about how many of the matches were just the same goddamn match the previous week, and even the week prior to that, how it was the same goddamn match the week prior. That has nothing to do with it. You know how much time was allotted to just reminding us of prior shit that happened on that same show? 15 minutes. 15 minutes. This happened prior. This happened earlier in the show. 15 minutes. Yeah. You know, last week's episode of NXT had 37 performers on television. A 2-hour show. NXT, 37 performers. And when I mean, it doesn't mean they were all in the ring wrestling. They were at ringside. They had an interview. They had a monologue. They had a vignette. They had something to where their face was on TV. 37 performers. For 2 hours. Does it mean they were part of a program? It doesn't matter. Isaiah Swerve Scott was on there for a vignette that lasted $1.50. What was it for? I don't know. It's for hyping up that he beat the hell out of Leon Ruff. Does it mean he's going to be on television? Probably not. But at least he was on TV. You know how many performers Monday Night Raw had on last Monday? I got to bring up my spreadsheet here. But I know it was in the 20s. And it is consistently under 30. Here we go. Start off with Alexa Bliss. Go on down to Xavier Woods. Where are you, Alexa Bliss? I got to double check my numbers. 59, 85, 26. 26 performers were shown on Monday Night Raw last week. 26. In a 3-hour show. What's keeping it from being over 40? What is keeping them from having everyone who is on the main roster for Monday Night Raw showing up on Monday Night Raw? Why? Why? There is no reason. SmackDown. Granted, SmackDown last week, we had a mega long main event for Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan. But on SmackDown, Aleister Black to Tamina 22. We had a major long main event. And I'm not going to get on SmackDown's case, because they'll make up for it on their show this week. Because we had a really big major main event. Lasted about 45 minutes. So, Monday Night Raw is the most watched program of all of WWE's programming, bar none. 3 hours. We can only show less than 30 of our performers, devote 15 minutes to reminding you of what the fuck just happened, because we're gonna condescend and patronize you. Or we actually think that people are actually going to tune into our show an hour and a half after it started. No! Stop it. WWE writing needs to get around the idea that on Monday nights, people are just randomly tuning into their program well after it started, because there's no need for the reminders after every single commercial break, for the reminders in between every match and vignette. No, there's not even vignettes. Raw has no vignettes. They don't do vignettes. Monday Night Raw has not gotten itself out of its own ass that the Monday Night Wars do not exist. There is no war. There is no competition with anything. Ratings are nothing. Your advertising dollar is no longer based off of Nielsen ratings. It is now based off of social media and social media traffic and hashtags and everything going on with that. It's based on impressions, not ratings. Doug, how do we fix Monday Night Raw? That's why I tuned into your show. What the fuck? I thought we were doing fantasy booking. If we're going to fix Monday Night Raw, the only way that we can first fix it is try to figure out what the fuck they're doing on their program in the first place. Not just matches, not just programs, but how it's structured. But I want to humor. How do we do it? All right, legitimately, how are we going to fantasy book our way into making Monday Night Raw an enjoyable program? All right. I'm going to humor you. Here we go. First off, it does not involve Keith Lee. No, if you're expecting me to say, oh, they got to put Keith Lee back on television. No, there's a reason they don't have Keith Lee on television. It's for reasons we don't know. He hasn't been on TV since February. There's a reason for it. We don't know what it is. Whether it be something that someone else is doing, he could be injured. We don't know. But it's not that. And it's not something as simple as saying, oh, it's a 3-hour show, get rid. No, it's a 3-hour show. Got to work with what we got. We can't change how we try to... Well, look. No, Doug, you're getting depressed. You're getting angry. Please end this on a high note. We were trying to fantasy book this, but we only noticed all the flaws in Monday Night Raw. Look, it is not one person's fault. It's not one group's fault. It is a conglomeration of a lot of things. It is a combination of so many things. Not just of, oh, Vince McMahon doesn't know what he's... He doesn't know he doesn't know what's on his goddamn show. I've known that for the past 7 years. Vince McMahon he doesn't know what's going on. No. oh, it's the writing staff. That's part of it. But no, it's not the major thing. There's only one thing I can think of that can drastically change Monday Night Raw. It's only one thing. And I'm going to kind of haphazardly change some stuff around here, and I'm trying to kill, just pad the film. There's only one thing that can solve this. And I'm trying to find the graphic. There it is. Yep, there we go. There's only one thing that can end the pain of Monday Night Raw. And it's coming in time. We have to have patience. We have to have patience, and we all need to do our part. We all need to do our part. Yeah, it's this guy. It's this asshole. This is what started it all. Right here. Stop playing with the picture, Doug. Spiky Nerf ball. This is the cause of all of our problems. Right here. Seriously. We haven't had house shows or touring for the writing team or WWE to do any feelers for what programs could be aired on television. We haven't had live crowds for over a year to be the determinant, to be the focus group, to show us what people are interested and not interested in. This is the reason why Monday Night Raw at all professional wrestling sucks right now. It's spiky Nerf ball. It's COVID. This is the reason. I'm not saying that the WWE product was great during the pandemic. Fuck no. Even before the pandemic, it wasn't that good. It was taking the crowds for granted. Now I think they understand how valuable they are. It's because of COVID, and it's because of the pandemic that it's not just that they don't have the live feedback, but it's also that we don't have the touring. The touring is the biggest part. The house shows are the big thing, because that's where the focus groups for their programs for television come in. All of WWE's creative flaws have been exponentially magnified due to COVID. We realized that WWE could never be or ever have a studio show. They never have. They could never have a studio show. While the crowds can be dickish and asshole-ish, if you're in the Northeast, or if you're in the UK, or if it's post-WrestleMania and you're into Chicago, you know when not to pay attention to them. But you still got to have them. It makes your product the best that it can be. It makes your performers the best they can be. Performers are performing against no one right now. The piped-in crowd noise that we're hearing on television shows, they aren't hearing. What are the performers hearing there in the ring? Nothing. All they hear are the refs, the panting of their breaths, and the announcers. It's bad for them to try to get better. To ask that, this product try to get better, it's like asking a band to make a better record, but all they've got to work with is a wooden barn without acoustics. to ask that the WWE make a better television product. God, like asking a football team to go undefeated, but you're not allowed to have pads. I'm not saying the WWE is great, okay? They have their own faults. Oh God, Raw is bad. Monday Night Raw is really bad. But how can it get better? We can make Monday Night Raw better. We can. We legitimately can. It's not by turning off the TV. It's not about bitching about it on Twitter. It's not about anything like that. It's about wearing a goddamn mask, get your vaccination shot, and let's get rid of this fucking thing. I got my first vaccination shot last Friday. It's Moderna. Got it Friday morning. I took the day off of work. The only side effects that I felt was it felt like I had a big bruise on my arm. I could only lift it up to maybe this much on Saturday, but here I am on Sunday. Yeah. Deanna, my girlfriend and fiance, she got her first vaccination shot the Friday prior. Same thing, bruise on her arm, but although the Saturday following it, she slept for like 16 hours. Oh no, I got to spend the whole day sleeping. Monday Night Raw can be better, and we can do something about it. We can make professional wrestling better. Stop bitching about it on Twitter. Stop bitching about it on Facebook. Stop saying you're going to unsubscribe. Stop stalking and harassing people. Wear a goddamn mask. Get your shot. Shut the fuck up. I'm sorry to pull off that bait and switch on you. I'm sorry to... I'm normally not clickbaity like that. I'm really sorry. But it had to be said. It really did. Okay? It's... And it kind of hit me this morning. Went grocery shopping this morning with Deanna. And at the grocery store that we go to... we're sitting at the bar of the grocery store where they have beer taps and stuff. There was a elderly couple just sitting there without masks. Whether they were drinking something or not, I don't know. And I'm looking around the beer aisle, searching for a beer to maybe bring over for the show. And some guy wearing a mask and glasses started harassing the couple not wearing a mask. He was harassing them of like, you're spreading the... It was so weird. It was like I was watching one of the videos that I would always see on Twitter and YouTube of, people getting into arguments about masks and vaccinations and stuff like that. And it was instigated by a guy who just had way too much passion about way too many things. And it just got me to thinking... Gosh, can we all just... God damn it, I'm not saying Rodney King here, but can we all mind our goddamn business? Try to do our best to get through this. Stop bitching about things and just get through it. Jamel, next week we give some actual story solutions on how to turn this thing around. It's not... there's no real story solutions. Honest. The writers are lazy on Raw because they don't know what to work with. They have no feedback to work with. All they have to work with is social media, and yeah, social media is really reliable. Next week, we're doing predictions for WrestleMania Payback, or Backlash, or whatever the fuck it is, I don't know. All I know is that today was kind of an epiphany for me. Jamel Doug with the classic Vince McMahon bait and switch. Well, I learned from the best, and I've been watching it for 35 years. So I thank you all so much for stomaching through this and enduring it. You guys are awesome. Thank you all to the new people who showed up. If you like the show, awesome. Subscribe, like, share, do all the things. I really appreciate it. Yeah, Monday Night Raw recap. Tomorrow night, Mike and Victoria will hate life because it's Monday Night Raw. Roy is going to talk about the Friday Night SmackDown, and he may not be too depressed. He's Canadian. But me, I'll be here next week doing predictions for WWE Backlash or Payback or whatever the fuck the show is called. And these shots of this are on the line. I don't know. Shots of tequila on the line. I don't know how many matches are on the card. I'm sure only 1 or 2 matches are on there, but we will fantasy book the rest of it. I assure you we'll fantasy book a missing stuff. Thank you all so much for stopping by. Really appreciate it. Wear a mask. Don't be an asshole. Do something for someone else before yourself. Think of others before yourself. As always, man. Sorry to be so introspective and everything, but I think it was warranted. Know when you're being sold to.